Before writing a single line of business logic, we need a toolkit that speaks move fluently. The beating heart is the SUI CLI. It compiles packages, launches a private validator swarm, runs unit tests, and publishes your artifacts to DevNet or mainnet, all behind one command set. Under the hood, those commands call the familiar Rust compiler, so having Rust up on the path is non-negotiable. Finally, you'll want the VS Code Move extension for daily comfort. It highlights keywords, auto formats modules, and invaluable for larger projects, surfaces Move Pro for warnings. Inline so you catch logic errors before a single transaction fee is spent. Once these three pieces talk to each other, your laptop becomes a single node playground, mirroring almost every feature of a live SUI cluster. Installation is a 90-second affair on any OS. Mac users run brew install SUI. The formula bundles the latest stable binary and drops it into /opt/homebrew/bin. Linux users curl the release artifact from GitHub, flip the executable bit, then move it somewhere on path. Windows isn't officially blessed with a native binary yet, but running Ubuntu under WSL2 gives an almost identical experience, including localhost networking for faucet calls. Whichever route you choose, finish with SUI-dash version. A semantic version string proves the CLI found its dynamic libraries and the shell found the binary. If the command is unrecognized, double-check that the install directory appears in your environment's path variable. Smart contract velocity lives or dies inside the editor, and VS Code currently hosts the flagship Move plugin maintained by Miston. Fire up the extension marketplace, search Move, and install the official entry, not the experimental community forks. Out of the box, you'll gain rich syntax colors, hover docs for every standard library function, and linting that mirrors the CLI's compile time checks. Turn on code lens and green right arrow buttons appear above each unit test, letting you run them without touching the terminal. If you enable Move proper integration, proof failures pop right into the problems panel, letting you iterate on invariants with the same fluidity you reserve for TypeScript type errors. Let's birth a real project. In any empty directory run, SUI move new supals token. The CLI sketches three essentials. First, a move.toml, manifest where you'll pin your package name, friends, and version dependencies, exactly like cargo or npm, but move-aware. Second, a sources/folder pre-filled with a lib.move placeholder. Every module you author lives here. Third, a test/folder for scenario tests that the CLI will run in a bespoke VM. Compile the skeleton with SUI move build. The command resolves dependencies, type checks, and emits bytecode under build/. A green finished confirms the compiler, manifest, and standard library are in sync. From this point forward, every new module is just another .move file in sources/. Your daily rhythm on SUI mirrors classic software engineering, plus a sprinkle of blockchain nuance. Write modules and scenario tests. Test with SUI move test. The CLI spins an in-memory executor, letting you script multi-actor flows entirely in Move. No RPC calls, no JavaScript harness. Iterate in this loop until all asserts turn green. When ready, build once more. This generates the bytecode and an ABI JSON file handy for front-end tooling. Finally, publish with SY client publish. Point the URL flag at a local validator, http://127.0.0.1:9000. During development, DevNet for team demos and mainnet only after audits. The command prints a package ID you'll store in your front-end env file for contract calls. Running SUI start launches a quartet of validator processes, a JSON RPC gateway, a faucet server, and an object explorer, all bound to localhost. In a new shell, run SUI client faucet dash gas budget 0, and the faucet signs a transfer depositing fresh test SUI into your first key pair. The Explorer lives at port 3000. Open it and you'll see your address, balance, and any objects you minted. Yes, including the welcome badge from lesson 1.2 if you published it. This turnkey stack mimics DevNay's full feature set, so you can iterate feverishly without polluting shared networks or paying real gas. When everything behaves locally, flip two environment variables and point the same binary toward DevNay. Here's a complete, albeit trivial package. lib.move exposes the greet function we first met in lesson 1.1. The test directory holds a module flagged test only. Its code is compiled and run only when you invoke SUI move test. Inside we call hello, greet, compare the string, and assert 0 on failure. Run the test suite and watch the CLI compile both modules. Spin an in-memory VM, execute the test, then print 1 passed. This micro pattern scales effortlessly. Add more tests, spawn test wallets, mint objects, and simulate full transaction flows with no RPC latency and full debugger stack traces.